Hello and welcome. My name is Jade and this session is taken from our Future Ready programme that is usually delivered to FE students in sixth forms and colleges. This session is called Love What You Do. Before we start, I'd like to explain a little bit about who we are at Make Happen and what the Future Ready programme is. Make Happen is the Essex-based part of Uni Connect, and Future Ready is a programme of free events and activities designed for FE students. Our aim is to support you in making the best decisions for you and your future. Today, students will learn about how important it is to both enjoy and love what you do. If your passion is teaching, for example, then you may not be happy in a career in banking. Students will also learn how you can use your passions and skills to identify your career choices. Finally, they will discover how all of their individual traits can apply to higher education qualifications. When we're young, we often pick an aspirational career without much thought, possibly based on what we know at that time or what looks cool to us. When I was younger, I definitely didn't know that there were more than 15 different types of nursing careers. Today, we're going to examine ourselves more thoroughly to help make good decisions about our futures. If you do not love your course, your part-time job, or your full-time career, then it is more likely to cause you to feel exhausted, stressed, and burnt out. It will also make you more susceptible to physical and mental illnesses. All of these things can then have a negative impact on your relationships with the people you are closest to. Being happy at work, where you often spend most of your waking hours, is bound to make you happier in general. Less stress at work means that you're less likely to get stress-related illnesses, both mentally and physically. Doing work that you love can make you less irritable and less impatient, which can then improve your relationships too. If you start your day feeling excited for the day ahead and you're doing work that resonates with you, you're likely to have more energy and maybe even need less sleep. You'll also be self-motivated, which means you'll have a more productive day than somebody who isn't enjoying what they're doing. Doing work that you love and you enjoy means that you'll be using your natural talents, interests, and passions. Your confidence will then improve because you'll be doing what is natural to you. So, how can we find the perfect course or career for us? There are three important factors that must coincide together: your skills, your passions, and what pays. If you have a job or you're studying a course that you're skilled at, which pays you well, but you're not passionate about, then after time you're likely to stop enjoying it and maybe even quit. If you have a job or you're on a course that you're passionate about, but it doesn't pay you enough, then you'll be stuck in the same sort of situation. Whereas if you're doing something that you're skilled at, passionate about, and it's paying you well, then that's the perfect career for you. There is an important difference between what a skill and a passion is. A passion is something that you enjoy spending time doing and that you're enthusiastic about doing. For example, you may be passionate about animals and their welfare, or art, or even exercise. On the other hand, a skill is an ability that you have learned or acquired, usually after a lot of practice and hard work. Examples of skills are customer service and communication. However, sometimes passions and skills can become intertwined. If you take a bodybuilder, for example, they are probably very passionate about fitness and exercise, whilst at the same time being extremely skilled within that field. Now we're going to discuss the financial side of this. This diagram shows how gaining a higher qualification can allow you to progress onto a career where you'll take home a higher salary. For example, if I were to want a career as an electrician, and I only studied up to my level 3 qualification, so my A-levels, my BTECs or equivalents, then my career possibilities could be limited and therefore my salary would be too. Qualified to a level 3, I'm able to become an electrician and earn around £25,000 a year. However, if I was to continue my studies and gain a level 6 qualification, such as a bachelor's degree, then my career choices would be a lot wider and I would also be taking home over £40,000 a year. This graph demonstrates the average annual wage by age and highest qualification. The orange line at the top is the people who have gained a degree or above. The blue line is those whose highest qualifications are apprenticeships, and the pink line is those whose highest qualifications are A-levels. One thing to note is that these statistics were created in 2017, so further education opportunities like higher and degree apprenticeships weren't as available then as they are now. The white line allows you to compare the average wage for all of these groups at 45 years old. As you can see, the graduates line is a lot higher than the others. However, it's important to remember that some people will earn substantially more than this and some substantially less. This second graph demonstrates the annual median salaries for younger people, aged 21 to 30. In this graph, you can see the difference between the postgraduates in blue, the graduates in red, and the non-graduates in green. The orange numbers in brackets outline the average monthly income after tax for these three groups, with postgraduates taking an average of £1,995 per month, graduates an average of £1,740, and non-graduates an average of £1,485 per month. So, how does this apply to university? The following are questions that you may want to start thinking about. Would you want to study at university or complete a degree apprenticeship? Would you want to move away from home or commute? There are also several different ways to study. You can study full-time, part-time, or even distance learning. Which one would be right for you? If you do decide on going to university, would you prefer to study at a campus or a city university? When you start to think about going to university, you'll also want to start You may want to look at these topics and the topics available within that degree, whether you can have an industry placement or a year abroad to study. These are all really important things to research. You may also want to reflect on past assessments to see what type of assessment you prefer and whether your course will offer that. Sports clubs and societies are something that you may want to start researching too, as finding a university that has everything you need is very important. There are dozens of societies out there, including things like Harry Potter, vegan and vegetarian, and cheerleading. You just need to find one that you're interested in. Finally, you may also want to start looking at the services that each university has to offer, including student support, careers and employability, as well as health and wellbeing support. Some universities even have scholarships and bursaries, so it's always good to check if you're eligible for any financial assistance. Some of the next steps that you can take include visiting the websites that are on the screen now for any further career information, support, or advice. You can always visit your in-college careers team too for further resources and further guidance. Thank you for listening.